In a world where memories aren't seen, but heard. A young girl named Sora journeys to a place that has forgotten how to speak. She is a sound collector, and her backpack is a library of life's most precious noises, each one captured in a glowing glass jar. Her destination is the Emerald Silence, a forest so quiet that the wind holds its breath and the birds have forgotten their songs. The sunlight here doesn't fall. It seeps through giant, transparent leaves, painting the ground in soft, shifting patterns of green and gold. Sora walks with a purpose, her steps muffled by the thick moss. She's searching for a sound that no one has heard in a lifetime, the voice of the forest itself, before it fades into nothing. She follows a feeling, a deep hum in the earth that only she can perceive. It leads her to the heart of the Emerald Silence, to a clearing where an ancient tree stands, its bark as smooth and white as polished marble. A being made of moss and starlight, its form flickering like a weak flame. This is Muro, the forest god, the spirit of this sacred place. He is fading, his light dimming, because the world outside has forgotten the songs of the forest, drowned out by the noise of progress. Sora sees his fading form and feels a pang of sorrow. But everyone told her to capture his last breath, his final whisper. But looking at him now, she knows she can't take anything from him. She must give. She reaches into her backpack, past the jar holding the roar of the ocean and the one with the laughter of children. She pulls out a small, warm jar. When she opens it, a soft, familiar sound spills into the silence. The gentle crackle of a fireplace on a cold winter's night. The warm, comforting sound washes over the spirit. Muro's starry eyes flutter open. He looks at Sora not with words, but with an ancient, weary understanding. They don't share a language, but they don't need one. Their connection is deeper, woven from sound and memory. Sora decides to share her world with him. She opens another jar, and the sound of waves crashing against a shore fills the clearing. Muro tilts his head, listening intently. Next, she plays the sound of a bustling city market, the chatter, the bartering, the clatter of carts. It's chaotic, but full of life. Finally, she releases her most treasured sound, a mother's lullaby, soft and full of love, a melody her own mother used to sing to her. The melody hangs in the air, a fragile, beautiful thing. In return, Muro reaches out a hand made of moss and light, gently touching Sora's forehead. In that instant, a universe of sound floods her mind. She hears the first song of the earth, the deep. Slow grinding of roots pushing through soil, the hum of distant stars being born, the silent music of mushrooms blooming in the dark. It's a symphony of life itself, powerful and overwhelming. But just as this beautiful exchange happens, a darkness encroaches upon the grove. A void shadow, a formless entity of pure noise and discord, slithers towards them. It is the sound of industry, of destruction, the very thing that is killing the forest. Muro shudders, his light flickering violently. Sora knows she must protect this sanctuary. She frantically searches her bag and pulls out a dark, pulsating jar. It contains the loudest, most powerful sound she has ever collected. She uncorks it, and the deafening crash of a summer thunderstorm explodes into the silence. Lightning in a bottle, the raw, untamed power of nature slams into the void shadow, and the unnatural noise screeches, recoiling from the pure, chaotic energy of the storm. The shadow dissolves, banished from the sacred grove, leaving only the rumble of distant thunder echoing away. The effort has exhausted Muro. His form is now almost completely transparent. He looks at Sora with gratitude, a silent thank you. He knows he cannot stay in this world. But he will not simply die. He will become a memory, a song for someone else to carry. He begins to dissolve, not into dust, but into thousands of tiny, glowing spores, each one a note in his final melody. Sora, understanding his intention, holds up her most beautiful jar, one made of pure crystal that refracts the light. The spores drift towards it, drawn by her reverence. They swirl and dance, flying into the jar's opening. As the last spore enters, the jar begins to glow with an intense, ethereal light. A new song emanates from it, a melody that sounds like the entire forest breathing as one, the rustle of a billion leaves, the flow of hidden streams, the wisdom of ancient trees. It is the song of Muro, the song of the emerald silence, now captured not as a dying whisper, but as a living, breathing symphony. Sora gently places the singing jar back into her backpack. The forest is still silent, but it no longer feels empty. It feels asleep and at peace. She bows to the great white tree and begins her long journey home. As she steps out of the forest and back towards her village, she opens the crystal jar just a tiny crack. A sliver of the melody escapes, and then a miracle. Where her footsteps fall, wildflowers instantly bloom in vibrant colors. The wind, silent for so long, begins to stir, whistling a gentle tune through the trees for the first time in years. The people of the village stop and listen, their faces filled with wonder. Sora smiles, a single tear of joy tracing a path down her cheek. The forest isn't gone. It's just traveling with her, its song a promise of new beginnings. People think silence is empty. They think it's the end of the story. But they're wrong. Silence is just a container, waiting for the right song to fill it. Muro didn't leave. He just changed his tune. And as long as I keep walking, the forest will never be quiet again. Thank you for watching. If this story resonated with you, consider subscribing for more journeys into new worlds.